Hey, do you have a sweet tooth like I do? Oh my gosh, I love the chocolate. And I have 4 tips for you today to help you tame that sweet tooth. All right, so here's the thing. You can't completely get rid of your cravings and your sweet tooth. It's gonna be there a little bit, but there's some things that you can actually do to help lessen it and feel more in control around that chocolate or that candy that might be super tempting. So the first thing that you can do is just focusing on setting up your environment. So what you do in your kitchen can really make a big difference. Now I know I used to go to my mom's house and she would always have a big giant bowl of M&Ms sitting right on the counter. And every single time I would walk through the kitchen, I would grab those M&Ms, right? So when it's in sight where you see it all the time, you're constantly gonna be tempted by something like that. So instead of having things out on the counter where you can see them all the time in your kitchen or your house, one of the things you can do is actually hide it, put it away, out of sight, out of mind. So if you have the bowl of M&Ms, pop it in the cupboard where every time you walk through the room, you're not seeing it, because then we're not reminded of it constantly throughout the day. And if you want to take it even a step further, put something else out that's healthier for you to pick instead, maybe a bowl of fruit instead of that bowl of candy. So just by setting up that environment, it's gonna help you a ton. Secondly, preemptively have those things you love. Now, maybe you were thinking I was gonna tell you, just give up all the chocolate, just give up all the sweets and all the candy and all the things that you love. But the reality is, food is meant to be enjoyed. And I really want you to still be able to have the things you love, but start to feel more in control around it, right? So when you get faced with those cookies, you're not eating the entire bag in one sitting. Totally been there, done that. Know how that feels. You feel out of control and you struggle around those foods. So what you can do instead is moderation. We have some of those things that we love a little bit here and there, so we're never feeling totally restricted or deprived. So one of the things that I like to do is, yes, I still have that chocolate, but I'll just have a few squares of dark chocolate after lunch to help with that sweet tooth, to help with that craving. And by doing that, I'm never getting to that place of like, oh, I can't ever have chocolate, so I try to give it up for 5 days in a row, and then the weekend hits, and the next thing you know, I'm eating ice cream and cookies and all sorts of junk food, totally overeating it, totally binging on it. So if you just preemptively have some of these things that you love and go for the quality stuff. I don't go get the, icky chocolate that doesn't really taste good. Like, I'm not a huge fan of milk chocolate. I get the good stuff, the dark chocolate that really satisfies my sweet tooth. So I feel good and I feel satisfied, and then I'm not craving more sweets for the rest of the day. And hey, if you want more tips on how to tame your cravings, we have a free guide for you. Make sure to check out that pinned comment below and click that link to check it out. And next, you wanna avoid getting overly hungry, what I like to call hangry, right? We have all been there when we haven't eaten maybe all day, we've skipped a meal, it's been 8 hours since we've had something to eat, and you're so hungry you could just eat anything in sight. The problem with this is not just that we tend to want sweets there, but our hormones actually go a little crazy, causing us to crave sweets even more. That's why it gets so difficult in those moments when we're super hungry to actually stay on track, because our body just wants anything, and usually it wants something quick and fast, like a sugar hit, because that's gonna help us feel full and get back on track with our food. So you wanna make sure you're getting in meals throughout the day. Make sure you're having something to eat before you get overly hungry. We really don't wanna go more than maybe 30 or 60 minutes where we're starting to get hungry, because when we go over that, we're tipping into that hangry point, and man, those cravings are just gonna be really hard to take control of. And lastly, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're getting in balanced meals. And what this means is that you're getting some protein, some fiber from vegetables, carbs and fat. Putting all that stuff together, especially that protein and fiber, is going to keep you from getting hungry, which we just talked about, but it also gives you that fill factor so that food actually sticks with you and we don't have like crazy blood sugar all over the place. I don't know about you, but if I eat something, say just a muffin by itself, like for breakfast, this like I used to do in the past, oh my gosh, a half hour later I would be hungry, my cravings would start going up because it's just carbs by itself. It doesn't have any sticking power to it. So when we start getting more balanced meals by adding in things like protein and fiber that actually stick with us and make that meal stick with us longer, we are less likely to get hungry, but it also balances the blood sugar so those cravings don't start to spike. Because when that blood sugar starts to go down, that's when the energy goes down, that's when the cravings start to go up as well. So just by balancing our biology, by making sure we're getting in food we need and balancing our food, it's gonna be really key to help minimizing those cravings. And hey, if you really wanna understand better what I mean by balancing those meals and portioning out your meals in a way that's gonna be helpful, make sure to check out this video because I talked all about it right there. And that's gonna walk you through step by step how to put those meals together. Hey, make sure to hit that subscribe button to help me out so we can get this content to more people out there. And also hit that notification button so that you know when more videos just like this are coming out, because I have a lot more nutrition stuff coming your way.